As a person that reads incessantly, I love this conversation about Kaz Nat and him reading on camera, because as the conversation starts to switch to literacy rates and reading comprehension, it's very important that people understand why you should be reading fiction instead of nonfiction. As a person that's read pretty much every nonfiction, self-help type of book, and the reason why I say nonfiction specifically, because when people speak of nonfiction, they're usually talking about self-help books. And I'll make the distinction as well on nonfiction books as well, and why there's a difference. But the reason why you should be reading fiction is because fiction helps you understand story. It helps you understand comprehension and why the story is being built. And it helps you imagine, use your own interpretation, imagination to connect the dots in your own life. And I'm going to give a couple books and examples on why fiction and nonfiction are different. All right, first things first. When people speak of nonfiction, they're not talking about academic journals. They're not talking about research papers. They're not talking about things that using real observational studies to create things that are supposed to stand up against scrutiny and to be tested against. When they're speaking of nonfiction works, they're usually talking about self-help books. And the reason why self-help books are detrimental to your reading literacy is because self-help books they present information as fact when they're also opinion. They're not academic journals, and people usually use them as academic journals. And so I will tell you that, I'll use two books. They basically do the same thing, but the reason why one is better than the other. So this is Playing to Win, right? And then we have a fiction book called The Moon and Sixpence by W. Somerset Montague. All right, one second. All right, two different books. Basically same storyline, but presenting information in two different ways, right? This book is trying to teach you how to become successful in your life. This story is about a man who left his family and pursued his dream of becoming an artist. Okay, how are they the same? They're the same because they're both trying to teach you about becoming success and what success looks like, right? And so this book gives you step-by-step processes on what this person thinks is the way to become successful, right? Whereas this book has a character in it that has trials and tribulations that he goes through that ultimately doesn't even give him success until after he dies. They also have different characters within the same story that are having success in different types of ways, or failures or trials and tribulations, right? All right, two different books presenting the same type of thing, same story, same arc. All right, this is why most nonfiction books are detrimental to your reading comprehension. It's because they're presenting the information as if it's a